Alright, so this is all dried, but I'm gonna add a little something to it because this is really shiny and you can't really draw on it. It's got a gloss finish, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add a little bit of my matte medium marble dust mixture, and that way I can do some work over the top of it. So I got my mix here in my country crock jar, and I'm just gonna go right over it here. And what I'll do is once it dries, I'll sand it. That'll really make it nice and smooth to work on. But I still got that texture underneath that I put into the gloss. So, cool stuff. I don't need much on this side because I didn't put much over here. But one thing I did notice that once I got away from it for a little bit and started looking at it, need some big shapes on these, I think. So that's something I've been thinking about. And this page right here, it definitely needs a little more work. I'm thinking about maybe doing some colored pencil work on the, because I really want the pills and the needles to stick out, but I need Skits, the funky Skits thing I did here, to stick out too. So I'm probably going to do some colored pencil work, make it pop a little bit that way. Alright, let's let that dry and then we'll come back in. Alright, so let's, where's my sanding block? There it is. So let me get my sanding block here. There we go. There we go. Nice and smooth. Alright, let's get these colored pencils out. Got those, and then I always have my red and blue right here. So let's see what we can do here. Let me do blue first. And obviously I'm going to have the textures from the paintbrushes and everything else in the colored pencils here. So that's just a part of it. So if you're wanting it to be perfectly smooth, you'd have to paint over it several times and sand, paint, sand, paint, sand, if you want it to be perfectly smooth so that you don't get any texture in your pencil marks or your colored pencil marks. But I like the texture, so I'm going to leave it. There's a ton of different ways you can do colored pencil, layering colored pencil. But a good rule of thumb is to build up. You always want to build up your layers of colored pencil. You don't want to just push down on the pencil as hard as possible all at once. It's not going to work out. Unless that's exactly what you want, then go ahead and do it, But if you want to do something that's blended and gets on the realm of looking realistic, then you really want to do it soft and build it up. And you usually want to use like a circled motion, but because I got texture and stuff in the paint and the surface, I'm not too concerned with doing it in the circle technique, because it's going to have that texture in it no matter what. So this gray here. There's a lot of different ways I like working with colored pencils. I've learned a few techniques over the years, like especially in high school. For some reason I did a lot of colored pencil stuff in high school, and learned quite a bit. Maybe at some point I should show off some of those techniques that I learned in high school, because they're really pretty techniques actually. I'll have to do a little something here to make this pop here in a second. I always hated that word, and people like, you know, in graphic design, you always have people come in, man, I want it to pop, I want it to pop, and you just get tired of hearing the word, like, oh, jeez, man, everyone wants their stuff to pop. Move. It's like, can you make it pop for me? Can you make it pop? Yeah, I'll make it pop for you. Everyone wants their stuff to be the best and to pop. But that's just the way it is, you know. It's funny when you work in design, you hear the same things over and over and over from almost every person. Like the same terminology, the same ideas. It's like, I'm gonna be unique and I want to do this, this, and this. And it's like, yeah, I hear that about once a week. Everyone wants to be unique and everyone's gonna do it their own way, but problem is none of these people ever talk to each other, so they're all doing it the same way, but they don't know they are because, you know, they don't know each other. So now, to get my highlights in here, I'm probably going to paint them in. I think that'll look a little bit neater. That'll look nice. Yeah. This one I'm just going to put down nice and hard, because I want it to be a little garish. Looking for a certain color here. And of course the shoestring on boot isn't greenish blue, but it kind of looks neat and it'll kind of jump out at you a little bit. It's kind of being odd, which that's the whole point of, you know, we're going into the hospital and things are going to start getting a little odd because, you know, they're going to give them some happy medicine and things will get a little different. so so that's fine, you know. It's like things start getting a little weird. I mean, that's why we got Skits Funhouse looking all weird over here. It's like got all sorts of stuff. So that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Let me put this away and let me get some paint out. Tell you what, let me take a break. Let me pour out some paint. Alright, so got a little bit of paint out here, and so we're gonna work with it, see what we can get. I'll move this one over a bit because my brush is almost into the computer here. There we go. I'm like bumping on the computer with my brush. One of the things you just got to remember when you're doing this is you're not making this polished, you know? It doesn't have to be polished. I think I need to get some new water. This water kind of stinks. I mean, I use well water as it is, but, you know, it still stinks. Right now I'm mixing a little bit of blue and white. And it's really light blue. One of the traps I can fall into from time to time is using paint straight out of the tube. I fall into that all the time because I buy colors that I like, so I just use those, which there's nothing wrong with that, but don't want to do it all the time. Alright, let me get this brush. I really like doing paint over the top of colored pencils. I think it looks pretty darn good. There we go. And as always, I'm always using a brush too big. You know, I mean, like this brush is, if you want to do fine detail on something like this face, is obviously not the brush for it, but that's what I like to use. I like to use the too big a brush for the space that I'm working in. And get all the paint out of that one. Okay. What else? Oh yeah. Hmm. Just a little hint of blacks here and there. We'll see how that ends up. Let me go ahead and dry this, and then we'll come back. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to use this ink brush pen. I'm going to add some darks in here and there, but I'm just going to do a little bit, and then I'm going to move it around with this burnisher here. I'm going to try and just build it up like that. Yeah. See, I'm just sort of building it up. I'm just trying this. I don't know. Why not? I think the one thing that people forget about when doing stuff is to try new things. And that's what this is all about, you know, just trying new things, see what happens. There we go. That's kind of looking nice. Starting to give it a little more definition. Yeah, I'm really liking this. I don't know how, but I guess taking this pen out, I flung some ink off of it. It's a lot of ink on this one. So. See, this could also be a process where I'll try it here, where you just throw the color into the area that you want, and then you use this technique to kind of put the shading in on the color, over the color. See how I'm doing there? It's kind of neat. It's a different way of doing it. Kind of neat. Every time I take the pen out, I'm getting little splatters on the paper, which is fine. Just adds to it. See a few little splatters down in here. I don't know if you can see them, but they're cool. We'll leave them. That's kind of neat. You know what this needs? I know what this needs to kind of sell it. Needs shading underneath them. Right? Need a shadow. There we go. Does a little something. It's so ridiculous. But I love it. Alright, I'm kind of liking that. I think this page I'm going to put off to the side for a minute. And I'm going to go back over to this one. Just pop it over here. There we go. There's something that I was wanting to do to try and pull some of these pages together. You do it with, again, a brush that's too big. So let me get this. A little bit of water. Mm-hmm. Just adding some visual interest stuff. Draw the eye over. Get some pencil stuff here. Now, need to look at this page and kind of just go, hey, is there something here that I can add that'll really draw your eye in? I'm not sure quite yet. I kind of like how everything's moving like this. I got a nice ice, an S. You know, it's kind of flowing like an S. You're coming in, you're looking, you're going out. That's nice. This one over here is just kind of like straight off the page real quick, which is good because it's like that's the energy that you want. You want it to just kind of roll off and right into the next page. So I'm liking this. Feel like maybe I can do a little something extra here, but I'm not quite sure what it is yet. And it might be that this page is perfect, but I just don't know it yet. So let's just roll it over here and bring this one back in. These are the things that you just gotta determine on your own, you know. You just gotta kind of put it there and say, you know, I feel like it's done. I feel like it's done what it needs to do. But we got that flow coming from here, and it kind of runs right up into the words, right up into here. These words kind of run you right up into there. And then straight off the page, like whoosh. So I kind of like that. I feel like there's just something missing. I'm not sure what it is, you know. I feel like there's just something missing. You know, sometimes I do this, I just start adding little marks in everywhere, or in certain spots where I feel like it just needs a little something. I mean, basically I'm working it like a painting right now. You know, it's like I started this painting and now I need to kind of finish it out. But that's just the way it is, you know. It's like you're not quite sure. And I feel like this might actually be done, you know. I might just need to move on to the next pages. I think it might be done. Yep. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to move on to the next pages. And maybe if I feel like it, I'll come back and look at it later and add a little something to it. Like if something happens on the next page, I'm like, ah, that's kind of cool. Let me tie that back into this page. But for right now, I think this is it. Alright, let's move on to the next pages. What you're seeing here, give us a like, share, subscribe. Also go on over to the Skitscomic.com website. All videos show up there a week before they ever hit YouTube. While you're there, pick you up a comic book, print, or go ahead and get you an original piece of art. Lastly, go over to Indiegogo.com and sign up for the book that you're actually watching being made right now. Thank you and have a great day.